This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring a discussion on 9 years of NDA government ensuring agriculture growth and farmers' welfare. The participants are Harveer Singh, agriculture expert, and S. Rangabhashyam, anchor.
Agriculture is the backbone of the Indian economy, as a significant portion of the country's GDP comes from this particular sector. It fulfills the nutritional requirement of the population and contributes close to 20% of the GDP. And it also, very importantly provides employment to about 40% of the country's population, which is really significant. In the last 9 years, agriculture has been the main focus of the government, and each of the components and sub-components have been addressed very well and has been taken care of. We will discuss each of the components, whether it is soil, whether fertilizer, irrigation, seeds, even providing capital through credit cards to the farmers, and all allied issues. To discuss the entire gamut of issues related to the agriculture sector, we have with us our agriculture expert Harveer Singh. Harveer, a warm welcome to the program.
Thank you, Rangabhashyam.
Let's start off with the budget, which is really glaring. In 2014, the budget for the agriculture sector was 25,000 crore rupees. From there on, as on date, it has grown in mammoth proportions to 1,25,000 crore rupees. What would that mean? Agriculture has been the main focus of the government and a lot of investment has gone into it. Isn't it, Harveer?
You rightly said that budget for agriculture has crossed 1.25 lakh crore. That is very significant increase, and resources are being provided to agriculture sector for better growth. And one of the most important component of this budgetary allocation is now Prime Minister Kisan Samman Nidhi. All eligible farmers are receiving 6,000 rupees per annum, a direct benefit transfer under this scheme. I think this is the biggest program for direct benefit transfer to the farmer, and they are getting benefit of that. At the same time, we have various schemes in dairy sector, in agriculture infrastructure sector, and for fertilizer sector, so that farmers are getting allocated money for better productivity and production and for their well-being.
And Harveer, what would you say about the MSP as well, minimum support price? That has seen a significant jump in the last almost 9 years.
Yes, we have seen a significant jump in MSP in last 9 years, and in case of some crop, particularly if we talk about oilseed and pulses, the increase is out of proportion comparative to other crops. The reason is that we depend on imports in both these crops, but due to very strategic move to increase the MSP for pulses and start procuring pulses on MSP under a price support scheme has very good results. Production has gone up very significantly, and our dependency on import has gone down in a big way. So on the other hand, to meet any requirement of public distribution system and other schemes, we have sufficient food. And the reason is that because food grain MSP is good, farmers are more and more inclined to grow wheat and rice, because under MSP they can make reasonable good money. And at the same time, government also changed the formula. I think this was also a big policy shift under this MSP system. Fix the price, MSP of a crop based on A2 plus FL and 50% over and above that. So that formula is also working and supporting the higher MSP.
We are talking about finances, impacting the farming sector and agriculture sector. Now Kisan cards are also, have been made available to fish farmers. So that's a big change. And the rate of interest of 4%. I actually want to, draw your attention to the fact that more than a decade ago, critics and experts used to criticize that car loans were much cheaper than the credit being made available to farmers, which used to be in the range of 6 to 7%, and at times, car companies launching schemes and giving credit at a lower rate than that. So that historical problem has been corrected with this 4% interest rate for agri loans, isn't it?
Actually, even when this Kisan Credit Scheme was launched, and under this NDA government of Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and this criticism was there that farmers are getting loan at the rate of 10 to 12%, and car owners are getting car financed at 7%, 8%. So then government came out with this very important scheme, the Kisan Credit Card, and gave 2% of interest subvention, and farmers are availing the loan at 7%. More support was given, and if a farmer is able to repay the loan timely, so he is getting the loan at just 4%, which is really a very big support and a very low rate of interest. And that's why you see year after year farmers are availing credit under this scheme, and loan disbursement under Kisan Credit Card scheme is increasing. The volume is increasing in a big way. And as you already mentioned that fishery farmers are also now eligible to have Kisan Credit Card, as well as dairy farmers are also eligible to get Kisan Credit Card. So the coverage of Kisan Credit Card is increasing, and it was required because earlier just dairy and fishery was supposed to be like additional
Allied activities?
job, allied activity of a farming family or a farmer. Now these sectors are in itself full-fledged sectors of economic activity, and value of our milk production as to the value of entire food grain production. So these farmers are rightly now have this eligibility, and because they are earning through this profession.
Harveer, selling the produce, selling the harvest was always a big issue with farmers. With the advent of ENAM, that is the Electronic National Agriculture Market, what kind of changes has crept into this entire system of selling the produce, and also in terms of price discovery, the right price for their produce?
You are right. If we can integrate the markets, price discovery is easy. Any seller is a farmer, so that he can find out that which mandi or which area, what are the prices are ruling, and whether he should take a call or not. And through ENAM, he can transact, and the buyer from other states also can buy the stuff from the farmer or his produce. It's a beginning, but gradually the transactions and the value of the produce under this electronic platform is increasing every year, and more mandi markets are being added under this network. So I think in future also it will become gradually a big platform for the farmers for price discovery as well as to get the better price of their produce.
We are talking about selling the produce and taking it to the market, whether it is even the physical market or mandi as such. This initiative, we have seen phenomenal growth in the road network, and also with special focus to rural roads. That surely would have helped the farmers in bringing their produce in a lesser time to the mandis and markets. Tell us about this initiative of Kisan Rail Connect, which is especially probably focused on perishables, and it takes a lesser time to take it away from the point of production.
Transport perishable agricultural produce to the market remain always a challenge for the farmers, because he doesn't have resources to create such a controlled temperature transport facilities, because it requires huge money. But through these special trains, and because the special bogies are added to that, and farmers in different load their produce into that, and he doesn't need to have the entire bogie or entire container. So I think this is a good opportunity now. We are seeing that the perishable produce farmers can go to different markets. So his reach to the market is increasing through these kind of initiatives.
When we talk about agriculture production, compared to extensive agriculture, it's predominantly intensive agriculture wherein the inputs matter a lot, and one critical component is the fertilizer, which is used to increase production. We have seen the advent of nano urea. To what extent nano urea has penetrated the market, and also this entire issue of having a single brand, the Bharat brand of fertilizers, what kind of impact is it making in agricultural circles?
Yes, fertilizer is a very crucial input for farmers, and in the last 2-3 years, when the situation in the world market was not very favorable, prices moved upward very high. So government managed, I think, a reasonably good manner to bring more and more fertilizer from abroad, and to give required subsidies, so that of this high volatility market burden should not go to the farmers. So affordability was there, so prices slightly moved upward, not for all fertilizer, and availability was made to them, because it was a big task due to this. Even last year Russia-Ukraine war also affected. And definitely the new technology always benefits the farmers, like as you mentioned, that nanofertilizer is also one of the latest technology where farmer can use liquid fertilizer instead of using granule through spray or so, and effectiveness is almost equal. So, and farmers adopting it. Maybe in coming years, things will be better to adopt these kind of new technologies, and gradually it will also reduce our dependence on import also.
Harbir, I'm sure you will agree that, just like for humans, it's very important to get yourself diagnosed, before you start taking medicines. Something similar for the soil as well, which probably had been, neglected for all these years and even decades. When this soil health card scheme was launched 5 years back, that was probably the time when the entire farming community sat up and took notice, and then they acknowledged the fact that probably this was the starting point from where everything related to agriculture and farming should start, and they should get the soil health card and get the soil of that particular region and the farm checked before using any fertilizer to increase production. What kind of impact has this entire initiative of soil health card brought about in agriculture sector?
Actually, soil health is very important for any farmer or to grow crop in his or her field. And to know the health of the soil, you need a technology to analyze that what kind of nutrients are there or what kind of deficiency for nutrient is there in the soil. If you know, you can apply required nutrient to fulfill basically to bridge the gap or to control this deficiency. And based on that, you can decide about the crop also. So this soil health card is very important for our farmers. With this testing of the soil, he knows that what kind of fertilizer he needs to apply in the field and what kind of crop he can grow, because it is all the crops, some crops are different from others and need different kind of nutrients. That is very important. And at the same time, this initiative will also increase the availability of customized fertilizer. You know that this traditional fertilizer cannot always meet the demand of the farmer. So we need more and more fortified fertilizer as well as customized fertilizer, so that farmers or an individual farmer has a opportunity or the choice that what kind of fertilizer his field needs for a better crop or for better production. This is important. It's a very futuristic technology. Now a lot of new ag-tech companies are also working into this. Now there are some sensors and new machines are coming, so that the testing task becomes a very fast process now compared to earlier, so that the farmer can do, and it's not a very costly thing, and in majority of the cases it is freely available to the farmers of the government agencies.
Harbir, it's been a pleasure talking to you about agriculture, about all the issues related to agriculture. Thank you so much for joining us in this program.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on 9 years of NDA government ensuring agriculture growth and farmers' welfare. The participants were Harveer Singh, agriculture expert, and S. Rangabhashyam, anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on a mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 9289094044.